Hey, sweet friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Carrie at holisticspsychic.com and Soul Star Healing Arts Center in Sedona, Arizona, coming on to share some insights as to the energies that are shaping up here with the upcoming new moon happening in the sign of Pisces. I'm also going to be talking about the astrology that's unfolding over the course of the next few weeks as we come into the next full moon. And I'm going to weave in the tarot in a deeper way than I typically do. So you guys can let me know how you like this approach that I'm taking today with the tarot. Let's go ahead and dive in. Welcome back once again, friends. So we have a lot to unpack here because there is a lot going on astrologically speaking. We are in deep, heavy Pisces energy, about to break through into some Aries energy within the next month here. So this overall is a theme of endings, culminations, and beginnings. And because of that, a key word that is coming to my awareness that really describes the energy that we're shifting into now is assimilation. Astrologically speaking, we have the new moon happening in the sign of Pisces on Thursday, February 27th at, what is the time? 5:44 p.m. here in Sedona. So that would be 7:44 p.m. East Coast time. And then it goes into February 28th if you live in European or Middle Eastern countries or anywhere east of here. Pisces energy. We've got the sun in Pisces. We have the moon in Pisces. Of course, they're conjunct because it's the new moon. We also have Mercury in Pisces. We have Saturn in Pisces, which is going to be transitioning into Aries this coming May, just a couple months from now. We have the North Node in Pisces, which is a big collective evolutionary type of energy that we're all experiencing in one way or another in our own individual lives. And we have Neptune in Pisces. This is a big thing because Neptune has been in Pisces since 2011, and it is getting ready to shift into Aries on March 30th. And this is a part of the assimilation energy that I'm tuning into. It's with astrology, it's always cycles within cycles, right? So we have short cycles and we have longer cycles, and then we have epochs, like really big cycles, which is more about the sidereal astrology. Since 2011 up through now, there has been deep transformation happening in the Pisces sector of your chart. Dig it out, take a look to see what house Pisces is in. Let me know in the comments below if you need help, and I'll help you to navigate this. But this is a huge time of feeling into, what have I discovered about myself? Where have I grown? And how can I move forward in the coming months as Neptune shifts into Aries, which it will be in for the next 13 years. So we're coming into a whole new energy now. So ask yourself, what have I learned? Where have I grown? So I'm going to talk a little bit about Pisces here. Pisces energy in shamanic astrology is the archetype of the mystic. It represents the mystical aspect of you, the mystical dimension of your life. It has to do with our intuition, our direct individual sense of connection with spirit, the divine, cosmic consciousness. It can also be connected to creativity and spiritual dimensions of love, such as compassion, awareness, understanding, friendliness, kindness. Pisces is all about unity and oneness. So one of the challenges that comes with Pisces is about boundaries, parameters. Pisces often, especially if you have strong Pisces in your chart, it's seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. It can also be not always being grounded in the physical reality, maybe being a little bit too lost in the mist of life. So you let me know below what aspects of these have been showing up for you, and how you're noticing how you've been growing in these ways. So the sun and the moon making the last new moon of winter. And I want to talk about the spiritual wisdom teachings connected to this. When we have the next new moon, we're going to be in springtime, but I'm also going to say here, and I'm going to, chime in with some more insights on this in another video. When we have the next full moon, it's the eclipse, and then the next new moon after that, which will be the first new moon of spring, is also going to be an eclipse. So this new moon, assimilation, integration, in preparation for big cycles of change that are essentially bringing us on a whole new path. Now, collectively, that new path is connected to our deep true soul calling in this way. Pisces is a lot about illumination. It's enlightenment energy. The new moon is happening at 9 degrees of Pisces. Now, something that some of you may know, some of you may not know, but as me, a person who is also a tarot reader, one of the things that I love about the tarot is it completely correlates with astrology. All of the cards relate to the different zodiac signs and the various planets. So each sign of 30 degrees is broken down into 3 segments of 10, which are called decans. So this first decan is illuminated with the new moon in Pisces happening at 9 degrees. And that card in the tarot is represented by the 8 of Cups, which I have here, but I'm actually going to just pull it up on the screen here so that you can see it better. And I'm actually using the traditional Rider-Waite deck for this because it is the more true to form symbolism. The 8 of Cups represents shifting your focus away from the everyday mundane aspects of life in seeking greater meaning. So it's connected to things like spiritual retreats, vision quests, and things like that. Pisces is more introverted by its own nature. And as we are moving through this time of assimilation, with this bigger cycle of Neptune getting ready to come to completion, and the new moon happening in that first decan of Pisces, which represents spiritual retreat, vision quest, seeking spiritual meaning. Some of us might feel like we need some time for solitude, self-reflection. Self-reflection is definitely a really good idea right now. The North Node and Neptune are also conjunct in Pisces. So this is a really big energy. Neptune is at 28 degrees, coming into 29 degrees within the next month here, which is like considered a critical degree. It's a culmination degree. It can almost feel like growing pains as we are all collectively preparing to be birthed into the new cycle of experience, which is going to be Aries. Neptune is the natural modern ruler of Pisces, and so it carries with it all of those same themes of being connected to the mystical dimensions of life, the mystical dimensions of you. It is, again, spirituality, creativity, intuition. It can also be linked to the unconscious mind. And therefore, with this assimilation energy, the solitude energy, it is a good time for, again, self-reflection, contemplation, meditation, because we are all collectively being guided right now in the direction, with the North Node being in Pisces, in accessing what our deep, true sense of meaning and purpose and calling is. Now I'm going to talk about how this relates to the tarot in a moment, but this brings me to another thing I want to share. Some of you who follow my channel know that when it comes to the energies of the new moon, I often refer to this book that I love called The 13 Original Clan Mothers by Jamie Sams. And this talks about the sacred feminine wisdom teachings that are connected to each lunar cycle in regard to Native American indigenous cultures. And this new moon is connected to really embodying your personal truth. It's actually connected to self-development that comes through embodying your own personal truth. So in order to embody our personal truth, we have to know what our personal truth is. And that can come through self-reflection, contemplation, meditation. There's two little sentences from this book that I want to share with all of you here. And this is connected to the new moon cycle that happens in February each year. As we honor our personal truths, we develop our sense of self and allow others to do the same. And then it goes on to say, when we are paying attention to the details of the here and now, so it's also a wisdom teaching about presence, being in the here and now. We are not lost in worrying about the past or future. From the talent of being fully present, we are able to learn the art of expansion through self-development, which is very connected to Neptune getting ready to shift into Aries. And the next new moon eclipse that we have coming this March, next month, 1 month from now, that eclipse is going to be in Aries. So this is an initiation, it is an activation, an invitation to start a brand new cycle of experience, a brand new chapter in your life. So this conjunction between the North Node and Neptune in Pisces is happening in the last 10 degrees of Pisces. And in the tarot, that card is represented by the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups promises victory over challenges and difficulties, a return to fulfillment, joy, upliftment. It's very connected to family dynamics, personal life, fulfillment, and it's assigned to the number 10. 10 in the tarot, all of the tens are indicators of integration and assimilation in the way where the number 9 represents completion. The aces represent a new beginning. When a 10 comes up, it's a transitional time where you sort of have one foot in each realm. You're integrating and assimilating the cycle of experience that you are transitioning out of in preparation for conscious clarity around exactly what you choose to embody energetically, what lessons you learned that you're ready to use in moving forward as we're coming into these new Aries energies. And again, this ending and beginning is because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so it's culmination energy, it's endings. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, it's new beginnings. And this is coinciding with us preparing to come into spring. When we have that next new moon, it's going to be just like a few days after the spring equinox, which in and of itself is a whole new cycle of energy that is around all of the intentions that we've been brewing within us as we've been in more of this internal focus of self-care in the wintertime. Those intentions start sprouting tap roots and unfurling into a first layer of blossoming. So the other thing about this new moon that's a really good idea is to get really clear and not only what your intentions are for this particular cycle, but what your intentions are for the year ahead. Because as we're coming into Neptune moving into Aries, Saturn moving into Aries at the end of May, this is definitely shifting us into manifestation energy, especially because Mars is also direct now. It just went direct in the sign of Cancer on February 24th, and it's going to be in a forward direct motion throughout the entire rest of this year. Mars is the planet that has to do with the action that we take in life. It's how we channel our will. And so with Mars going direct now, after being retrograde for about 2.5 months, we're all going to be naturally feeling this energy of more productivity and just, feeling an innate sense of motivation to be directing your energy forward and outward in regard to those inward intentions and ambitions that you've been sort of mulling over within yourself. So as we're talking about this Neptune energy and this Aries energy, I'm going to reveal the tarot cards that represent the sign of Aries and the planet Neptune. Neptune is connected to the Hanged Man card. One of the main features of the Hanged Man card is a glowing halo around the Hanged Man's head, and he's upside down hanging from a tree. This represents shifting into higher spiritual dimensions of awareness, which is what the halo is about. And the upside down is like sort of temporarily suspending normal rational thought, shifting into spiritual awareness with the intent of gaining new perspectives, new points of view that enable you to perhaps resolve issues, have solutions where there's been uncertainties or problems. So that is the energy that we are in right now. And as Neptune comes into Aries, Aries energy is connected to the Emperor card, which is the king of manifestation energy. It's being really rooted and grounded in your life force vitality and being in your empowered self leadership in regard to your earthly manifestation energies and goals. So then let's talk about the first 9 degrees of Aries, which is where Neptune and Saturn will first shift into when they make that shift. And before I do that, let me just say Saturn, as it's making this shift, which has been in Pisces for the past 2.5 years, has been having the effect of activating within us a little bit of sense of a personal responsibility to lean in the direction of our spiritual nature, lean into the direction of our mystical nature, lean into the direction of more meaning in our life, living in regard to a deeper sense of connection and meaning and purpose rather than living superficially. So as Neptune and Saturn shift into Aries, that Saturn is going to support us in providing structure to form in regard to those manifestation realms. Aries in and of itself is the energy of leadership. It's motivation, it's inspiration, it's forward movement because it relates to Mars. That first decan of Aries relates to the planet Mars and the Two of Wands. When the Two of Wands comes up, it is an indicator that you have established a nice sturdy foundation for yourself and you are ready to grow and build upon that foundation. So we're coming into Again, these eclipses next month are really going to be strongly impacting us in support of that. But we really are coming into more of an energy of expansion, liberation, forward movement, new momentum in our life in regard to what brings ambitiousness in us, which is related to the fire element. Fire expands our enthusiasms and our drive. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the chart now and just talk a little bit more about some of the aspects that are connected to this new moon. Okay, so you can see over here, let me just mark this, see if I can mark this up here. We have all these planets and points happening in Pisces here. So again, the moon and the sun conjunction, which is the new moon. Mercury and Saturn are also conjunct, bringing conscious awareness and ideas regarding your sense of self-responsibility in all of these ways that we've already been talking about. And then here you can see this is where the North Node is, and Neptune, as I've already talked about. So the main thing that I want to show here is that the sun and the moon are both making a trine aspect to Mars, which is direct now as of February 24th. So again, this is supporting our ambitiousness and our drive in moving forward. Mars goes into Leo on April 17th, which will be another boost of drive and motivation and enthusiasm, just FYI. And then I want to talk about and just show you how Pluto, which is in the sign of Aquarius now for the past 2 months, it's going to be here for 20 years. So this is big. And it is sextiling Neptune. So Pluto is the planet of transformation, evolution, empowerment. We're going to see this all happening on collective levels globally and personally as well. So Pluto making this sextile aspect to Neptune now, that it's bringing that 13-year cycle into completion, further emphasizes the aspect of this that is connected to how we have learned and grown personally, spiritually, and now how do we want to use what we have learned and grown from this past cycle to bring positive transformation, evolution, and empowerment into these new cycles that are coming in now. Pluto is also making a sextile to Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, growth, development. It's in Gemini right now, which is great energy for epiphanies of awareness, communication, learning, sharing ideas. Jupiter will go into Cancer on June 9th, which is a lovely energy that supports harmony, peace, well-being, especially regarding home, family, matters of love, things like that. Now, I do want to mention here on March 1st is Venus going retrograde here in Aries. So again, we have that first decan of Aries ruled by the Two of Wands. When Venus is retrograde on a everyday practical level, it's really not a good time, and I talked about this before, it's not a good time to do anything about drastically changing your physical appearance or making large purchases or starting new relationships, because when Venus goes direct, you'll change your mind about how you feel about these changes that you've made, and you'll want to find a way to switch it back. I've literally seen this play out in my own life and have learned my lesson about those things. However, Venus is a good time for self-reflection and healing regarding matters of love. It's a really good time to purge. It's a great time to clean out your closet. Get rid of things that no longer feel aligned with who you are now and the parts of you that you want to be empowering. Now, for the 13 years that Neptune is going to be in Aries, there's a collective impact or influence in regard to our own evolution within humanity and individually that is very connected to a conscious, intelligent use of intuition as your navigation tool. This is why I am preparing to offer that online Mastering Intuition coaching mentoring group program, which I'm still taking registrations for now. I'm aiming to start that some point mid-April. So if you think that you are interested, hit me up, send me an email, send me a message. I'll give you the information. I don't have the information on my actual website quite yet, just because I've been very busy with clients, but I am going to get that up soon and I'll get that information to you. I'm going to chime back in again with information about the upcoming eclipses. So I will see you all then. All my love, guys, blessings, and namaste.